So Dan, what year? What author? Tell us everything.
Let's see. Advice, Lovelorn. I don't have a year here, but it's super old print, really small. So
super old, and super small.
We're talking 1900s, somewhere around there.
So it's like a book, basically.
It's like Donald Trump's dick.
One page.
Super old and super small.
Dear Miss Fairfax, I have been keeping steady company with a young gentleman for about 6 months. What I mean by steady company is this. I have not been out with any other men or with any other girls since we have started going with each other. We see each other every night. We are deeply in love with each other. This gentleman is 10 years my senior. He has asked me to become engaged to him on my 18th birthday.
Woo!
I know my parents.
Wow.
I know my parents will not object, as they like him very much. I have not yet given my answer to him as to whether I will accept a ring on my 18th birthday, as I wanted your advice on the matter first. As I wanted your advice on the. Oh, okay, no, that's right. All right. Is it advisable to spoon with a young man of a passionate disposition?
Did she say spoon?
Is this the same one? This part of the same one?
Right. Yeah, that's why I was a little confused. She wants her advice
has a thing about spooning.
She wants her advice about getting married, but then also threw in this little thing about spooning, which I assume is what her real question was.
Yeah, that's a whole different issue there.
Wait, spooning who? Somebody else?
No, she wants to spoon the guy before they get married.
Okay. I mean,
what is spooning?
Yeah, just
what is spooning? No,
like
but
cuddling.
What is it? Hold on, that's what it means now.
Right.
Oh.
To spoon.
Yeah, this sounds like 1740 or something.
What did spoon mean 100 years ago? I'm gonna Google it.
I think it means the same thing.
Yeah,
that's where it comes from. I want to, yeah.
Maybe they meant like heroin then or something.
This is
especially at that time. It was probably like taking some to Robitussin or something. Doing heroin. This is old, you know.
All right, so this is spooning. Okay, so far Google seems to think spooning is spooning. Cuddling.
What does spooning mean in 1840?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking up. What is spooning?
I mean, I don't think it's going to be more scandalous than.
No, that's pretty scandalous. When
anything else that
if a woman accidentally showed her ankle,
says so much about that time that you're in that it's like, oh, I'm totally like dating this 27-year-old dude, and we're gonna get married on my 18th birthday, and now we'd be like, what?
Parents are total chill with it,
but they're fine with it, and we're just. But do you think it'd be okay if we spooned? Like.
I know, dude would be super canceled today.
Yeah, dude would be canceled. Actually, he wouldn't, because they haven't even spooned. They're like,
that's true. As long as they don't tell me about it. It's like neither is a teacher, right?
Are we gonna rate this?
Yeah, she didn't specify that he's not like.
So it is a long time ago.
Gymnastics instructor or
so
something.
The question doesn't have anything to do about that. The question is it okay if we spoon? Right?
That's what you're assuming that her real question is. She still wants to know, is it okay to get married?
Yeah.
At 18. Does she ask that though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's I have not yet given my answer to him as to whether I will accept a ring on my 18th birthday, as I wanted your advice on the matter first.
I want your advice.
Just waiting for the columnist advice for her whole life, choices.
Yeah, that's why I thought it meant I wanted to get your advice on this matter first about spooning. If I can't spoon with the dude first, then I'm not gonna fucking marry him.
I mean, is he filthy or what? Can you physically do it?
Look, he's already seen my ankles. You might as well spoon.
You might as well go all the way.
Yeah. I'm practically impregnated already.
I give it a 7. I think it's a good question. I think this is a confused child who's dating an adult man who wants to know if she should marry him. And I mean, I think it's perfectly reasonable.
Come on, it's just a spoon.
There's not a lot of psycho, shrinks around at this time. So she goes to the best person she can. I think that's wise. And you know what? I'm convincing myself to give this an 8. This is 8. This is a
Well, I'm
good.
gonna agree with your 7. I'll stick with my 7, even though it still falls within the. Well,
Solid question. Ren, what do you got?
I was just gonna go higher, like 9.
Whoa!
It's
We're
true.
happy.
I think it's very good because, well, she should definitely be asking somebody about this.
she could ruin her entire life.
I don't know,
like
man.
then or
with the
now.
wrong
I got it.
utensil.
You should probably run it by
say-
somebody before you start spooning with the like could be your dad,
Yeah.
I gotta say,
Because you can't ask anyone in your family.
Right.
Yeah, because they're obviously
Anyone on
screwed
your
up.
block.
I gotta say that, like, and this is probably not a popular opinion. Just qualify this here, but like, grown men having sex with like 16-year-olds and 15, like sexually mature children, is been going on for thousands of years. It's really only become taboo in the last, I don't know, like 50. So like,
Sure.
like it's
Still
not
gross.
like, yeah, but it wasn't. It's gross for us, but it wasn't gross
Yeah, at
for
the time it wasn't.
thousands of years. It was like perfectly reasonable. I mean, people live to like 35 years old. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so if you're 26 and someone's like 16, I mean, she's only got 20 years left. You know what I mean? Like,
already worked 5 years in a coal mine or a
it's
factory.
Sure, but it doesn't mean we don't have very good reason to have changed that standard.
I agree that I agree that we have, but I mean, to an extent, I do see like there's a
in context of that time, yeah.
In the context of that time, it's fine. It's reasonable and fine. In the context of our times, when a sexually mature 17-year-old ends up with a 27-year-old, it's much different in my mind. It's not like child molestation versus like someone who's screwing a 9-year-old, which has always been bad. You know what I mean? Like that's always, but like we're talking about like the last 50 years, having sex with a 16-year-old is bad, male or female, right? But it's only recently bad. Like, we have.
I think it's always been a very bad idea to do that, because someone at that age, until we've decided this. I guess you could say it's arbitrary, but people don't have the emotional maturity to be making those kind of choices at that point. I think that's why we don't.
It's completely arbitrary. It's completely arbitrary, and I don't think it was always a bad idea, because I think people back in the day were a lot more emotionally mature than they are today. Because today we've like retarded and stunted people's growth to such a degree that when they're like 18, they are no emotional, no real maturity, no real responsibility, and none of it. So yeah, they're basically still children. But back in 1800s,
kids in the 70s looked like they were 30-year-olds.
Yeah, they were like, or in the 1870s, they looked like they were 50-year-olds.
1870s kids are like the big mustaches.
Like by the time they're 16, like you're 17 years old, man. You might as well even write them off. It's like, oh, I don't know, she's not married at 17. There's something wrong with her. You know what I mean? Like it's
Right.
it's a whole thing. Like
before we get cops busting down all our doors,
Right.
I said it wasn't
the response.
I'm not gonna.
I said it wasn't a popular opinion. I'm just riffing here. But for the record, I don't think you should have sex with 16-year-old people. Or 17. I think you should have sex with people of your age or within a few years of it until you get to your 30s, 40s, 50s, and you're a grown person. Then you can go ahead and shift 20, 30 years, whatever you want.
Well, let's just wait and see how Dan edits this episode for you.
I love hot cock. Just like, hey, this is an unpopular opinion, then just beep. Like 3 minutes of beep. Whatever.
I ran out of beeps.
All right, Dan, read that.
All right.
What's the
SS. You love each other. Your parents approve. There is no reason why you should not become engaged and eventually happily married. In answer to your second inquiry, most emphatically, no. Capital N-O.
Oh, the spooning.
Exclamation mark. Most emphatically, no.
It's not cool to spoon, man.
Weird. So I guess the reasoning is that, like,
that's
in
it.
Case
Wait, no.
you change your mind
that was it.
About marriage, then then you don't want to spoon him now because you'll have spoiled yourself from him or something.
Yeah.
So like you can date a 27-year-old man at 17. You can be engaged at 17. But if you let him hug you from behind, you are some kind of
In a
trollop.
horizontal position.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's whatever.
Wow.
That's shitty advice. I mean, first off, that's shitty advice. Even for it's too
confusing
short.
advice. It's just what.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, if Miss Fairfax said yes, would she get arrested? Back then,
Be
who
called
knows?
Miss Unfair Facts. I'm giving it a 2. Unfair lies. It's the opposite of fair facts, right? Unfair lies.
Yeah, I'll say it too. Again, she could have given some other, like, instead of spooning,
Yeah,
how about you hold each other's hands out in public?
yeah.
I give it a 4. I think
Instead of
it's
spooning,
bad advice, but like it makes it's predictable for that time.
You can allow him to
guess.
kiss your hand and hold his lips to your hand for a count of 2 seconds.
Right. What's the cutoff? Spooning is the cutoff.
If you need to spoon, you could instead rub peanut butter on your vagina and let your dog lick it off. It's like, what? Wait, where did that come from? What kind of ear are we in? Everything's backwards, right? So that you can just do the twisted shit, but you can't do the normal stuff. I don't know. Maybe this isn't my episode.
I think that's how we started off.
maybe I should just keep beeping me.
Oh, we didn't tell you this is live this week.
Oh, good. Just what I need.
Right.
We decided to have all our parents watch us
let's
live.
just dig your hole a little bit bigger, and you can start off with the worst advice.
The worst advice that I can give her, marry him absolutely at 18. And I know this is going to be scandalous, but go ahead and spoon the guy. I know. I'm saying spoon him. I'm saying let him spoon you. You spoon him, and give him a little prostate massage with your thumb when you're behind him. Give him a little, little one of them.
Yep.
You guys know what I'm talking about, right? I'm talking about a thumb up the butt.
Okay.
Like you spoon him and put your thumb in his butt.
Surprise.
No, I just because you guys don't know a lot of these interesting words that I use sometimes, so I thought you might not know the word prostate. It's a little bit less than a pros-9, which is two thumbs in the butt.
Oh boy.
All right, you guys, is that it now? You guys are we still doing an episode here? Or you guys just gonna
This
sit
is
there
where
and
we
go,
fade
"Oh,
out
Jesus."
here.
We don't need any other
This
thing.
is where this is called backing away digitally.
We know this episode is not going to see the light of day. We don't see the points. We don't see the points in expressing anymore. Guy, come on, bad advice, dude.
we gotta rate.
Bad
Do we rate her advice? Oh no. I think we
Worst
did.
advice possible for her.
Yeah, we rate it. We're at the end here. We've almost made it.
All right. She should not marry this guy at all. She needs to find an older man. Start dating him for 6 months. Think about
good call.
spooning him. Get too scared. Dump him. Find an even older man than that. Date him. Start thinking about spooning. And then when that happens, every time she thinks about it, give herself one of those floggings.
It's very elaborate. It's very elaborate advice and long term. That's
Thank
terrible.
you.
I like
Yes.
it. I like it.
Thank you.
Excellent job. I don't think it's as good as the Pros-9, but whatever.
The prostite.
I guess mine's sort of similar to Dan's. I was going to say, tell her something like, in this very publication, there are classified ads where you can take out and see if you can find there are special groups of people. For one thing, don't marry the guy. Maybe you could later, but it's too soon to know. But you don't know. You're too young to know any of this stuff. So you wait, and you need to discover some things before you just go away with this older man. So you go to the classifieds and look for a special group, or post your own ad in the classifieds if you're able, for a special cuddling group, a group of spooners. And you got to get your feet wet, Find some other people who are spooning enthusiasts, and get yourself some practice before you just go run off with any old guy. So start yourself a spooning group and see how many other people you can spoon to see how you like it and see how it goes.
That's good. That's good. I like that one. I like it.
I like everybody's advice in this, but I'm gonna vote for myself
Okay.
because your guys' advice sucks.
You're gonna have to be like digitally replaced with a fern or something.
Whatever. A talking fern. Good.
A
Good with
burning
this.
bush.
A talking fern that's good with wordplay.
I'll vote for red.
I'm gonna vote to Dan's, I think.
No.
Dan's
Oh,
is
it's
the
a
one.
three-way tie.
Three-way, baby.
It's a plus 10. So yeah, this is we're very unlikely we have to close this episode because it's it's going to be full of beeps and ridiculousness, but and
Just in case
but,
people like closures.
yeah. Hey, thank you yet again
you.
for joining us for Unsolicited. We really appreciate you. If you have any bad advice to give these people from 1820s, then by all means write it, and they won't read it. They will not see it, but we will see it and we will laugh. But do not ask us for advice, because we will not give you advice.
No, you can't give good advice.
We won't even give each other advice. If Dan was to give me advice, I would purposely do exactly the opposite, because I would think he was trying.
Yes to all that.
All right, yeah. We all these episodes, we're ending these all with such low energy. Yeah, how about a little? You guys,
Woo! Yeah, let's go.
all right, yeah. Woo.
Chugga.
Get it, yeah.
Chugga.
Chugga.
You guys getting energized depressed the hell out of me.
Hold on, I'm sitting on my balls. I did too many chuggas.
This is true, by the way. Like, people that are thinking like, oh, that was a joke. No, Dan was he's very clearly sitting on his own balls. And to move in a way that's you can't fake. All right. Thanks a lot, people.